Yo, what's up guys? We got Pokegame here. Today we're going to be talking about the new mythical Pokemon that was revealed today, Zarude. So let's just get all the memes out of the way. Feel free to leave all those comments right about now. Okay, now that you've had 2 seconds to leave those comments, let's talk about this Pokemon. So it is Grass and Dark type with the ability Leaf Guard. What the hell? Listen, I don't care about Grass and Dark. I'll talk about why that actually isn't as bad as everybody's saying. Oh my god, it will die to U-turn. Yeah, Tyranitar dies to, what's the weakest fighting type attack I can think of? What is the weakest fighting type attack I can think of? That's physical. Whatever, Power-Up Punch. It doesn't matter. But, I mean, obviously there's a huge difference between that and the move U-turn that is widely distributed in the OU tier. But let's talk a little bit about it. So it is. It actually looks a lot different than what I thought. I do actually like the color scheme of it, and I don't mind its design. I love the vines around its arm. I can't click on this video. It getting Leaf Guard is probably the most disappointing thing for me. But I do hope that as a mythical Pokemon, it either gets some sort of form or a secondary ability or anything. I don't know. Just anything that helps it out. Leaf Guard is not so good. That, well, for those that don't know what Leaf Guard does, basically it prevents and also heals status in the sun. That's not good on a Pokemon that needs to be offensive. The reason I say this thing needs to be offensive is because it is it's Dark and Grass, so it has a million different weaknesses, and yeah, it's not defensively, it's not good. But Dark Grass, and the main reason is obviously U-turn is the big one that a lot of people have been saying. I do think that a lot of people are kind of tunnel visioning on U-turn though, and saying, oh man, this Pokemon cannot be good, period, just because of that 4 times weakness. That's not true at all. If it has anything around the Zeraora speed tier, it's great, because Dark and Grass is really solid coverage offensively, right? Dark and Grass is actually really solid coverage offensively. Since Dark covers most of what is resisting the Grass type attacks, and on top of that, it's a monkey/ape type Pokemon, right? It's the rogue monkey Pokemon, and that's relevant because every single monkey/ape type Pokemon in the game has fighting coverage, whether that be low kick, super power, drain punch, close combat, or focus blast, or even hammer arm. Every single one of them has fighting coverage. Every single. Let me just Google this real quick. But if I can just show you the picture that I was looking at, every ape Pokemon in the game. Let me just show you that image that I found on Google. Perfect. Copy image address. That is way too small. Let's zoom in. So every single Pokemon here has fighting coverage. Every single one, whether it be special or physical. And I'm talking about all the fully evolved forms. I don't really care about the baby forms, but I'm pretty sure the baby forms get something too. I'm just thinking about Slackoff. I don't know if Slackoff gets something, but every single one of these has some sort of fighting move. So that's great. Fighting is really good when coupled with the Grass as well as the Dark. It allows this Pokemon to actually be able to break. And this is very relevant because being Grass and Dark, you have a resistance to opposing Dark moves, which is really nice, especially with the fact that Bisharp is something that's very good. That music, I don't know if that music's way too loud, but Bisharp is something that's very good in the... That music might have been way too loud for a second. I'm sorry about that. In the other tier. So being able to resist a Sucker Punch and being able to knock it out with either Drain Punch or Close Combat is really solid. I really wish this thing got Tough Claws. It definitely looks like it should have Tough Claws as an ability. And I honestly do wish that it had a unique typing. When I was looking at the screenshot, I was really hoping for something like Fighting Electric. Though I had a feeling that we wouldn't get Electric just because Zeraora was the Pokemon that was kind of released before this. In terms of like the release train or timeline or whatever. I guess Melmetal. But I didn't think we'd get Fighting Electric. But I definitely thought Fighting. I definitely thought part Fighting. And Fighting Fighting Ground made a lot of sense as well, I felt. And Fighting Grass also kind of made sense too, just looking at, like, it was going to be released with the movie Coco. So I thought it made sense with it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the dark grass typing, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody thinks it is. Especially because, yeah, dark types get messed up by bug. Okay, I'm not going through all the list that this thing gets weak to, okay? It's very weak, okay? It's very weak to a lot of things. But that doesn't matter, alright? You don't let Scissor take a flamethrower, right? You do your best to not let Shedinja take a super effective move. You can do it with this Pokemon too. Just switch out if they're going to go for U-turn. But of course that does make you play this Pokemon differently. You can't just switch this thing into, let's say even if it does have Zero Aura Speed, right? Or even faster than Zero Aura Speed. That's a good speed tier. It's amazingly fast, and the big thing is it's faster than the relevant Pokemon that can hit you with super effective moves, right? But it also means that you can check offensively something that's relevant in the OU tier, like Dragapult, as well as other Pokemon. But it works really well with the Dark and Grass stab because Dark is obviously resisted by fighting, and we just got a bunch of new fighting type Pokemon. We have Terrakion, Keldeo, Cobalion, Virizion. But Grass next to that is solid, and versus those that it actually doesn't hit for super effective, and it's solid on the relevant ones. So the relevant ones are Terrakion and Keldeo. Alright, Cobalion and Virizion are going to keep dropping. They're not going to stay OU, that's for sure. But it's relevant because it gives it the stab next to it, and to actually hit them for super effective coverage. And we did see in the trailer itself that it actually gets Power Whip already. So we saw Power Whip, and we saw Taunt. So what I'm really hoping is that it's a fully physical attacker, because that's also relevant because Fairy types wall the Dark Stab. But if I hit something like Clef, which is kind of forced to run more special defensive right now, or even Sylveon, with a knockoff, and I'm able to deal with them via Power Whip, that's good for me. Like, we already saw that it has a strong grass up attack, and they gave basically everything close combat this generation. So I definitely think that close combat is something that we can see in its arsenal going forward. I hope for U-turn as well. I don't think that even if it gets slack off, it would be that good on it, just because, again, defensively, not the best, but being able to cover water types is pretty solid in itself. So I think a lot of this is going to have to do with how this Pokemon stats are distributed, and that's kind of how it is everything. So if we look at Zero Aura real quickly, Zero Aura, if you guys remember last generation, wasn't anything that great. Even though it had fantastic stats. How do I show you this without showing you everything? Like my team builder and stuff. Whatever. Yeah, I can't show my team builder. I have both of my teams. But if you look at Zero Aura stats, just have it. I'll talk about it. Base 143 speed and base 112 attack. And in this current generation, at least right now, before like Pokemon Home, before the DLC comes out, that's a fantastic speed tier. So, I mean, that's a fantastic speed tier in any generation, but it actually has a decent attack stat to the point where, like I feel like this generation, the power creep kind of went down in terms of defense and offense, mainly because we don't have Megas, and we don't have Pokemon like Kartana running around. But, obviously, you know, you could argue Corviknight right now, but we don't have Celesteela and things like that. So, like, yeah. You won't be able to beat the relevant Pokemon like Corviknight, but you'll be able to deal with something like, especially with that type of move pool, you'll be able to deal with something like Seismitoad, Ferrothorn-esque builds, though you have to worry about Ferrothorn running Body Press. But if you look at Shiftry as well, which is something that was just banned from RU to RUBL, its Grass and Dark is great offensively, but Shiftry, what it has going for it is Growth or Swords Dance, depending. Sucker Punch, which helps with its mediocre speed, but I'm hoping that this Pokemon doesn't have that mediocre speed that Shiftry has, even though Shifttree's speed in this generation isn't terrible. And it got Heat Wave as well. It also has Low Kick. But, yeah, so provided they do give this thing some type of coverage, great. Again, the saddest thing for me is its Leaf Guard ability. I cannot, there's nothing I can form to defend that ability. Maybe if it didn't have a million weaknesses, Leaf Guard would be okay, because Sun is not bad. Sun is actually solid right now, but Chlorophyll would be way better. Or Solar Power or something. I really don't like Leaf Guard, and I really do hope that we get some type of form or different ability for it. I'm not sure what the process is when it comes to mythical Pokemon and what they like to do, but I do know that we've had different forms of them, so it's the rogue monkey Pokemon. Like, I mean, why would you not give it an ability like Blaze that happens all the time? So it just has like a boost in its power when it comes out, right? I feel like if it's a rogue, it's like it's going crazy. It's gonna rev it. Like, it's something like that. Like when I think of like Darmanitan, for instance, having Guerrilla Tactics, that dude is always locked into a move. but it gets a benefit out of it. So something like that would have been great for this. But the things that will at least save it: knockoff. Already saw power whip. We already saw taunt. Close combat. I don't know if fire punch is the way to do it. We do have another grass type with fire punch. That's Ludicolo, which is a Pokemon that doesn't look like it should ever learn fire punch for whatever reason. So maybe. But close combat for sure. And then I'm basically giving it Zeraora's moveset, right? I think that it can be a bit a better physical Zeraora. Not better, but it can compete with a physical Zeraora, because Zeraora is really good because of its ability to break through Corviknight as well. But it can be a really good one if they also give it like Play Rough or like Fairy offensively, because Como is something that's very common. But again, being a dark type that sort of struggles with other dark types, at least the relevant ones. Hydreigon, you need close combat, so you'll be okay, but that U-turn, Mandibuzz, you're not really breaking, but knocking it off is really good, and you are going to be luring it in. So, I mean, it all depends on how you play it, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to stand with my Pokemon on a U-turn when it will die. So, to those saying, oh, God, this Mon dies to U-turn, yeah, it's cool. I can name moves for every Pokemon that die that are relevant. Tyranitar dies to Body Press. You don't stay in on Body Press, you know? So, I'm going to give it a chance before I, like, you know, the final verdict of it, just sucking. But it's really highly going to depend, just to, you know, to sum up this video, it's going to depend on its stats, and it's going to depend on if it has fighting stab or not. I think that if they do give it Swords Dance, though, and if it does get a different ability, like Tough Claws, hell yeah, that'd be good. I'm sure +2 Swords Dance, Tough Claws on anything, any attack over base 100, which it should have, it's a mythical Pokemon, would give it enough to break through Corviknight, which I think is good enough in my book. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on Zarude. Definitely did not. I don't know why I thought this Pokemon was gonna like be yellow. You know, I thought it was gonna be like yellow and like more festive, like yellow, red, and a little bit of green, maybe some feathers, based on like what we saw before. But all right, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, my friends.